Okay, here are a couple of pictures from the MRI that I had of my lower back about a year and a half ago in the summer of 2015. And as you can see, my L4, L5 disc is herniated. Okay, I'm going to start with a disclaimer. Back problems are very serious. You should discuss with a doctor any kind of back problem that you might be having. Any information associated with this video, anything that I discuss, talk about, demonstrate, or any exercises that I demonstrate in this video are for the purpose of just sharing my own personal story on how I got rid of the pain caused by a herniated L4, L5 disc. I have no medical training, and I'm not offering any kind of advice, suggestions, or remedies for lower back problems with this video. Before performing any kind of exercise, you should discuss it with the doctor first. If you're going to try anything that's demonstrated in this video, or any exercises that are demonstrated in this video, or any information associated with this video, you should discuss it with your doctor first. My story is that I had lower back problems for several years, and when my back first started acting up, it became pretty painful pretty quick. I was in constant chronic pain. I could standing, sitting, lying down, just constant pain, can never find a comfortable position. When I walked, I'd have a shooting pain going down the back of my leg. It was just constant misery, basically. So I went into the doctor, and we discussed it, and I think we might have waited maybe 4 months or so from when the pain first got really bad to the time where I had a cortisone shot. And I actually ended up having 3 cortisone shots in the span of about a month and a half. The first one didn't do anything. The second one got rid of a little bit of the pain. And the third one finally did get rid of the pain. And I was pretty much pain-free for about 6 years or so. And then my back started acting up. I'd throw it out doing one thing or another, and my back would be extremely, my back would be stiff, and I'd be in extreme pain for anywhere from a couple of weeks to several weeks. And then I'd be okay for a while. And then I'd end up doing something that I'd throw my back out again, and I would be in extreme pain, and my lower back would be stiff, and that would go on for another couple of weeks or several weeks, depending upon how long it took that time to get back to normal. And that's how it went. Now I suspect what I had was, and I don't know this for sure, but I suspect it was a bulging L4, L5 disc is what was causing my problems. But I don't have an MRI of what my back looked like then. So I can't really say for sure, but that's what I suspect is what it was my L4, L5 disc was bulging and was causing me all those back problems. But then in the summer of 2015, in the early summer of 2015, I really caused my lower back some problems. I herniated my L4, L5 disc. And this time the pain was much worse than what it had been in the past. I had to sleep on my back with my lower legs elevated on a chair or whatever I could find. I would be, in the middle of the night, I would wake up to these extremely painful lower back spasms that would only last maybe 10 seconds, but they were the most intense pain I've ever felt. It was just unbelievably painful. So I went into the doctor and was given some pain medication, and we were going to see if my lower back would heal itself and try to manage the pain. Well, I think I waited about a month and a half or so, month and a half maybe, and my lower back wasn't healing itself, and the pain medication did absolutely nothing for the pain. I mean, it didn't even take the edge off. I mean, so I went back in, and now it had been maybe 3.5, 4 months from the onset of when I first started experiencing this extreme pain from my lower back. And we had an MRI of my lower back performed, and there it was. My L4, L5 disc was herniated. And I was given a couple of medical procedure options. One of them was to have a cortisone shot or cortisone shots, and the other option was surgery. And neither one of those options appealed to me at all. So I became determined to find an exercise that would get rid of the pain. So I started experimenting with a bunch of different types of exercises, trying different variations, and was doing reading and all kinds of research, and nothing was working. And after about a month and a half, 2 months, it was becoming, really frustrating. But I kept trying, and I came to the conclusion what I needed to accomplish with a exercise was threefold. I needed to decompress my spine. And then second, I needed to try to maneuver the disc back into place and keep it there. And then third, I needed to strengthen and stabilize my lower back. And so those were the objectives that I had. And I finally found an exercise that worked. And it's called the bird dog exercise. And I started performing it, and then after pretty much every day, sometimes twice a day, and I noticed after a couple of weeks, my lower back pain was starting to go away. And this was really great. So I kept with it and started including a variation to the exercise for my own purpose and condition about 2.5, 3 weeks into when I first started with it. And after 5, 6 weeks at the most, the pain was completely gone. I was pain and symptom free. And that was over a year ago. And since then, I continue to do the exercise as an ongoing maintenance routine, about 2 to 3 times a week. If I do cause my back some issues now by doing something like lifting something really heavy in poor form, or putting myself doing something extremely strenuous in a very awkward position for my lower back, I might cause my lower back a little bit of agitation and irritation, just a little bit of pain. And if that happens, I'll do the exercise daily instead of the 2 to 3 times a week maintenance routine that I have. And the pain will be gone within 3, 4, 5 days at the most. So if I end up doing something that I shouldn't be doing, I'll just perform, and I cause my lower back some irritation, I'll just perform the exercise daily. And again, within 5 days at the most, the pain is gone. Now I don't have an MRI of what my back looks like now, so I can't say whether my disc has been healed or what it looks like, if it's bulging. I have no idea. I wish I did, but I don't. What I do know is that I'm pretty much pain and symptom free and have been for over a year now. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the bird dog exercise as I understand it and how I performed it, and then I'm going to demonstrate the variation to it that I created for my own purpose and my own condition. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. Let me get started with the exercises. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate the bird dog exercise as I understand it, and then I'm going to demonstrate the variation that I created upon the bird dog exercise for my own purpose and condition. Again, before performing any exercise, discuss it with your doctor first. Anything associated with this video, any information that I give, or any exercise that I demonstrate in this video, you should discuss it with your doctor first. In trying to find an exercise for the problem that I had, I was looking to accomplish three things. Number one, I was looking to decompress my spine. Number two, I was wanting to maneuver and keep the disc in place where it should be. And then number three, I wanted to strengthen and stabilize my lower back. It seemed like the bird dog exercise would be a good exercise to accomplish those objectives, so I started with it. And here's a demonstration of it, at least what I was doing. So this is the starting position. And then you extend your opposing arm and leg out. Getting a good stretch. A good stretch. And that's one repetition. And that's two. Okay, so that's the exercise, the bird dog exercise I started up with, and I was doing it daily, at least once a day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, for 2 or 3 sets, usually about 3 sets of 7 to 10 repetitions. After a couple of weeks, I noticed that my back was starting to feel better, and it's like, wow, this is great. I mean, it's like, so I kept with it, and I started about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks into it, I started creating a variation upon the exercise, which I'll demonstrate here. And the variation was to accentuate the stretch, and I would even point the toes out and turn the palm of the hand in to get as much of a stretch as possible to decompress the spine. And then I would bring my straight leg up to create an arch, and I would hold this for a couple of seconds, 2 or 3 seconds. My thinking was that it might help maneuver the disc back into place. Stretch, stretch, really stretching. I mean, really stretching here. And then arching and hold. And this is the speed that I actually performed it in. Okay, so that's the variation that I started performing on it. From the time I started doing the bird dog exercise, I would say about 5 weeks after when I started, maybe 6 weeks at the most, I became completely pain-free and symptom-free. Was that ever a great feeling, to be pain-free again. And since then, that was over a year ago, and I continue to do the exercise as a maintenance routine, 2 to 3 times a week. And what I just demonstrated, the variation I just demonstrated to you, I actually only performed about 3 sets of that, maybe 4, and I only actually performed 5 or 7 repetitions, 5 for each side, alternating. I don't focus on a whole lot of repetitions. I just focus on controlled slow movement and then holding that top position for a good 2 or 3 second count to help maneuver the disc. At least my thinking is to help maneuver the disc back into position, keep it in position, and strengthen and stabilize the lower back. And that was over a year ago when I became pretty much pain-free. If I do something I shouldn't be doing and agitate my back, I'll just perform the exercise daily, and I might only do a couple of sets of 5, 7 reps. If I have time, I might do I might perform the exercise twice in a day for, again, 3 sets, maybe 4 sets of 5 to 7 reps. And within 3 to 5 days, the pain is gone and I'm symptom-free again. So, I'd say for almost a year now, I even perform the exercise even a little bit more aggressively. I'm going to demonstrate that here. I really accentuate the stretching, really trying to stretch as much as I can, and then I bring the leg up, creating a really good arch. And I'll even bring my arm up just a little bit, and then holding this for about 2 or 3 seconds again. And this is the speed in which I actually perform it now. And that would be 1 repetition. And that would be 2 repetitions. That's what I've been doing for almost a year now, and it's been great. I couldn't be any happier about this exercise and what it's been able to do for me. Anyway, I'm really glad that I've had the opportunity to share my story, and I wish I had an MRI of what my back looks like now. I don't. I don't know if my disc has been repaired, if it's still bulging. I have no idea, but I do know that I'm pretty much pain-free and symptom-free almost all the time. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Again, I just want to say that back problems are very serious, and you should discuss it with a doctor. Any back problems that you have, any exercise you're thinking about doing, or any information in this video, or anything that I've demonstrated in this video, or any information associated with this video, you should discuss with your doctor first before doing it. Anyway, thanks again, and have a good one.